Hi guys, how are you? This is Joyce. Welcome back to our GH live stream room. Today I'm going to share this kit for you, the G648. For this kit, it's including 4 pieces dip glue and 6 pieces fast giant dipping powder. It's the summer neon color. So actually later we're going to show you how to make a simple French nail by using this kit. So actually for our powder kits, we got total 18 kits. You could search by GHdip. You could get more information on Amazon.com. So you can see the highlight of our fast giant dipping powder is super easy to use for this kit. It's including the 4 pieces dip glue you want and 6 pieces fast giant dipping powder. Today we're going to share this color for you. As you can see, here's the French nail. By using this kit by the neon, you can see my little fingers here. So it's gorgeous, it's so cheap as summer. So later we're going to show you how to make from the whole process, from the start to the end. So just follow our tutorials. So let's go. So first, you need to washing your hand and do all preparation. Now we're going to using the cuticle pusher to push back the cuticle. When you're doing the push back the cuticle, do not over push. Actually, you could using the cuticle pusher slightly and slowly. You could use it like that. Do not over push because might be your hands or your fingers will be hurt. But every time, just like our nail technician doing, to push back this slightly. And do not use it the too sharp side. So push back the cuticle actually is the important part that you will do on your powder, do the powder on your nails, because the cuticle part will be moved and lifted every day. So I think it's so important that you need to push back your cuticle and cut off any excess cuticle part. So for your 10 fingers, your both hand, you need to do all preparation. Now we need to push back the cuticle like that slightly, and you could put it back by using the cuticle pusher, or you could using our nail tips from the dip powder accessories kit. And actually for the nail tips from our dip powder accessories kit, the shade just like the cuticle pusher if you really don't have one. So actually we are going to push back, and you can see we every time push back the cuticle slightly, because now we are doing on our natural nails. It's so important because sometimes our client complain the powder while lifting or cracking from the cuticle. So here's the important part. Actually, if you don't have the cuticle pusher, but you have our dip powder accessories kit, you can use the nail tips. Now, we are going to take out the nail nippers. We need to use it. You need to, if you're first using the nipper, you need to take care because it may be a little bit sharp, but as you can see, you can follow your nail shape. And then your cuticle shape, you need to do it, to cut it, to trim off the cuticle, extra cuticle slightly. You need to follow your cuticle shape. You cannot put your nipper so directly below your nails or under your nails. You need to put it just like that. Follow your cuticle shape slightly and cut off. And actually, here's the important part too, because you have already to push back the cuticle, and now you need to cut it off. Or later, if you apply the base to your entire nail, it might be a little bit difficult to apply the base or any dip glue evenly. So here is the important part too. So for our all steps is to push back the cuticle and cut off any excess, and later we are going to using the buffer to remove the shine too. So now every time just using your nipper slightly follow your cuticle shape to cut it off slightly. Actually, if you don't have any excess, you just need to push it back and do not need to cut off. If you don't have much cuticle, the dark skin, if you don't have much dark skin, actually you just need to push it back and then do the next step. But if you have the extra cuticle, extra dark skin, you need to cut it off, because later we are going to apply the base and dip into the powder. You don't want to ruin your powder by the cuticle. So we need to use it slightly like that. And actually, for every time, you need to wash your hand first, and during the all necessary step. We won't show you how to wash your hand, but I think it's better if you follow our tutorial. You need to wash your hand first and make the hand dry, get dry, and then to push back the cuticle and cut off any excess. So if you don't have more extra dark skin, it's not necessary to cut it off, because you don't want to cut your true skin. It will hurt. So now we already finished the pushback and cut off. We're going to using this nail file. We need to shape the nails. And actually, we already do the preparation. We're just showing you how to do it simple. Because for the nails, you could do many nail shape, like the ballerina shape, the coffin shape, and the almond shape, or the round shape, square shape. Any shape you want, you could using the nail file to put it. And actually, for the nail file, this one you could find it from our dip powder accessories kit. For our dip powder accessories kit, we got 3 files inside the kit. We can use this nail file to help you to shape the nail shape you want. Actually, today this kind of like the square shape. It's more like the square shape, because it's kind of the normal shape when you're doing the French nail. But today we're not going to make the white and pink French nail. We're going to make the neon color French nail. So it's super trend and super popular in fashion on the summer day, because it looks very good on your nails. And actually, you could shape your nail any shape you want. For the square shape, you need to keep the front side, keep your nail edge, the front side, it needs to be straight. And for the both sides, for the left and right, you need to turn it a little bit round, but not too sharp. That's your nail shape looks more good. So if you want to know how to make the almond shape or any coffin shape, the popular one, or the round shape, actually you can follow our previous live stream and the videos. And actually it's super easy to make other shape, but this for square shape is suitable for the French nails. We need to shape it. And now we are going to using the buffer. For this one, it could using for the natural nails or your artificial nails. And actually it's using for remove the shine or any oil from your nail plate. And actually it could be using for to arthritis, to grinding, to fight off arthritis. Actually on your natural nails. Because this buffer we got 2 sides, and actually later we are going to using for the artificial nails too. Because this nail buffer is super useful when you're doing your powder nails. So actually, as you can see, for the powder nails, you could using this one for the natural and for the artificial nails. Later we're going to show you how to make it. And actually for this nail file, it's actually from our dip powder accessories kit too. Because for the dip powder accessories kit, we have so many tools for you. Those are all from our the powder accessories kit. So when you got that kit, you got the faux nail tools to help you to make better dip powder nails. And actually, every time we need to use in the 180 grit side to sand down your rough edges from your natural nails or remove any shine. And you could use it. One more tips, actually you could use the buffer to help you to smooth up your nail edge. I mean the natural nail edge, because every time after you shave the nail, actually for the nail edge, you still have some sharp place. Actually you could use the nail buffer to help you to remove any sharp place off. So actually for this kind of the buffer is so useful because it got the two sides of the two different shape of both head too. One is the round shape, another is square. Actually, you could use them for all nail shape. So now we need to using the powders. Every time you need to roll or shake the powder like that, one direction. And now we need to open the cap. Every time if you open our powder jar, actually you could find the inner shell there to help you to protect the powder. You need to shake that and to open it just like that. Shake it and shake it first, roll it first, and then to open it. To take out the inner seal. For the inner seal, actually it helps to protect the powder from leakage or overflow. We're going to show you all these beautiful summer neon colors, how to make the French nail. So for those colors, it's kind of the so bright colors because if you are dressing out for the day or you go out for some weekends, you can using this kind of the colors. It's kind of the popular colors on the summer. So now we're going to using this light pink. For the light pink, it's for the base because we are going to using it as a base. It's just like the white color, but we're going to using the pink as the base. Now we're going to using the bumper pads. If you don't have the bumper pads, you can buy our dip powder accessories kit. But if you have the balm or primer in your house, you could use them. No matter what brands, actually it's all same. For the balm, it helps to remove any oil and to dry your nail beds. Actually, it just needs to using for the natural nails. It's just the nail beds too. Then your powder will be more stick with your nails. We're gonna using the base. Every time the base is kind of the most useful glue, the deep essential glue. For the powder, actually we're going to using those colors. First, we need to apply the base to your entire nail to brush it evenly from the middle left to right, and then to create the smile light. But this time we are going to using the neon color. You can see your fingers with all beautiful colors. We need to dip into the light pink and tap off. We're going to using the nail tips to scoop out some mixing color. So accident happens if you're doing it at your home. You need to be very careful because today we're going to show you all those colors, and actually it's super easy to get the accident. But if you're at home, you need to do it one by one. When you're using the yellow color or orange color, you just open one first and then open another color. You cannot like ours because we are going to show you these colors. We need to dip into the neon powder and tail off and dip into the light pink color. And actually another way you could scoop the powder and sprinkle on your nail plate. But today we're going to dip into the powders. So we're going to using the base to apply it on your entire nails. From the middle left to the right, you need to brush it evenly. And then to dip into the neon powder, any color you want, because we got 6 colors for you to choose it. Actually, now we're going to dip into the light pink powder. Because for the light pink powder, that's your natural nails, won't look so ugly, because this kind of color acts the base to let your natural nails looks more pink, unlike the baby nails. And now we need to apply this very thin layer and to brush it evenly. And now dip into the powder and need to stay for a second to create the smile line and tail off and dip into the light pink powder. For this light pink powder, actually you can find from our G6401, the light pink colors. So now we're going to using the base again to create another nails. We need to brush it evenly. And to dip into the neon powder and create a smile line very slightly and tail off and dip into the pink powder. Let it stay for a second and tail off. So if you found some powder to mix up, you need to using another nail tools to help you to scoop it out. As I mentioned, because we are doing all the colors showing the demo, and actually if you're at home, you should be to open one jar and using one color. You do not need to open all jars and all powder colors to take it out. You need to keep the cap tightly closed. And actually we're going to apply it again for the second layer. Apply it and dip into the powder to follow your previous smile line. And then tail off and dip into the light pink color. And actually for our neon colors, actually the color is so strong and so full, you need to apply it 2 times is enough. 2 coats is enough, because I don't suggest to do more 3 coats, because the neon color not like other light colors. It's already strong, so we just suggest you to do 2 coats is enough. And tail off and dip into the light pink powder. So for this finger is same too. We need to apply the base again. Every time do not apply too much the base, and do not let the base to get on your cuticle. It's so necessary, because if the dipper to get on your cuticle skin, and you won't feel good. But another thing is that, and the powder will be super easy to crack from the cuticle part. So do not to let the base get on your cuticle. I like those colors because it kind of the hot summer color. It's super perfect for and trim for the summer. So when you do this kind of the French nail, actually you look so good. when go out. And for our neon powder, actually you could put it inside the light, the LED light, then it to absorb so many light, and then it could be to sprinkle and to be glowing in the dark for seconds or minutes. So, and turn off. Okay, so we're gonna to take some pickup. So for guys, if you are doing the nails at your home, so don't be so worried. You need to do it slightly, but accident happens every time. Do not need to worry it. You just need to follow our steps, because this is the live stream, the real live stream. We cannot make a joke on that. So actually we are going to apply the base again to entire nail, from the middle left to the right. And then to dip into the powder to create the same smile, right? And then dip into the light pink powder. And turn off. So for those, we already finished 2 coats. We need to using the dust remove brush to help you. For another hands, we are going to show you for those 2. We need to repeat this step and repeat this designs for another hand. We want all our nails look so beautiful and colorful. For the neon color, I really like that because it just like you could use it for younger women's. Actually, it fit for every age, any age, because it looks so gorgeous and so young. So actually now we're going to apply the base to your entire nail for the first layer. Every time you need to apply the very thin layer and brush evenly. Just like that, from the middle left to the right. And then put your finger to create the beautiful smile line you like. And then to take out the finger and turn off and dip into the light pink powder. And stay for a second and take out and turn off. So actually for the nails, we suggest to do the 2 coats. And naturally we need to apply this very thin layer from the middle left to the right. And then dip into the powder. Stay for a second, let it create the beautiful smile like you like. And then turn off. And dip into the light pink. Why we suggest to using the light pink? Actually, you need to let your nails look more natural and like the baby pink on the middle of your nail plate. Or you could using the nude to replace the pink and the clear powder to replace the pink. So actually it just depends on you for next colors. But I think the color should be more lighter, than the neon color. But neon color actually is kind of the colorful. You do not need to worry about. But I think the beautiful one is the light pink, because light pink makes your nails looks more natural and looks more like the baby. I like that. And actually you can use in the clear powder too, if you do not want the light pink or you don't have one light pink. And then dip into the powder and turn off. So as I mentioned, if you do not need to use other colors, you need to keep the cap tightly closed. But we are doing the demo, it's kind of hard to help you to control this kind of the things habits. So we already done one layer. Now we are going to another layer. We need to brush it the base evenly from the middle left to the right, and then dip into the powder to create the smile like. For this time, for the second coat, you need to follow your first coat because you do not want it so hard to recognize it. So now we need to tie off. For those color, it looks so strong, so 2 coats is enough. Every time you need to brush it evenly like that from the middle left to the right. And then to create the beautiful smile line with the color you want. Actually, you could make your whole 10 nails with one color because we got 6 colors, the 6 pieces, the GH Fast Giant Dipping neon colors for you to choosing. You could select the color you like, but actually you could do all colors on your finger. It looks really beautiful and colorful. I like them. So we need to apply the base to your entire nail slightly. Every time keep your brush flat and to create the smile line as you like. Actually, for the shape of the nails, you could do any nail shapes as you like. It's better to do this kind of the design on your natural nails because when you're doing on your natural nail, it looks more natural and beautiful. If you're doing the fade nail, I think the first step you need to using the base as the first layer. It might be look so not normal, but actually if you do it on your natural nail, it looks gorgeous. So now we need to dip into the powder, stay for a second, because for the neon powder, it won't be smooth like other colors powder. So every time when you're doing the design, you need to do not need to apply too much dip glue because the neon color, the neon powder may be a little bit more heavier than other light color. So every time when you're doing this nail or you're doing your other nails or the nature nail, so actually you need to apply the base very thin layer first and dip into the powder, stay for a second. You need to remember to tap off any and then dip into another color. So because the neon color is kind of the special, so every time you need to, after using, you need to keep it kept tightly closed. Now we are going to using the brush. The brush, the dust remove brush, actually you can find from a dip powder accessories kit too. For this brush, it's kind of the useful if you're doing during the fire or the buffer on your nature nail, it could be using. Now we're going to using the clear powder. For the nature powder, this kind of is 2 ox. It's same the Fast Giant dipping system too. You can find it from our dip powder accessories kit. And actually for this layer, our clear powder is kind of the things using the cover powder to help you to protect the nail design. You need to apply the base again and dip into the clear powder. As you can see, for this step, it's kind of the necessary because later we are going to fire off by the fire or the machine or the buffer. So actually it's kind of the important things to have the dip powder accessories kits and to using this the nature nails to help you to cover the design, to protect the design. So actually for the nature powder, because this nature powder is it's different from other brands. It's the fast dry dipping powder system. So for our clear powder, it could be dry itself within 30 seconds. But if you're using other brands clear powder now, I think you need to using the activator to make it dry. But for our clear powder, our nature powder, it could be dry within 30 seconds, no matter what temperature is in the room. So you need to remember that if you are using the GH fast dry dipping powder, you do not need to using the activator to make the powder dry, because our powder could be dry by itself. But if you are using other brands clear powder to help to protect the design, I think you need to using the activator to make it dry before you filing and buffing. So we need to apply the very thin layer, same the base from middle left to the right, and dip into the clear powder. For this powder, actually you can find from our dip powder accessories kit. For this kit is kind of with the favorable price, and actually it already sold on the Amazon.com, and actually it's kind of the useful nail tools if you are using our fast dry dipping powder kit or other kits from other brands. It's same useful. So wait within around 30 seconds. Now we're going to using the brush to tap off. Every time you need to using the brush to help you to tap off any excess, because you do not want all the nail brush or anything to get dirty. So after the brush, we're going to using the machine. Our nail technician likes using the machine to help you to fire off any bumpy place or any place, because we are going to use a machine and the powder is kind of stronger than the gel polish. So actually if you are using the machine, it's kind of useful for you to grinding the nail surface more evenly. So every time our nail technician to using the fire from the nail plate, the middle, and don't forget the cuticle. So actually if you like our nail technician, it's already so professional, so she always don't have the problem of the bumpy or uneven problem. And another thing, because she applied the base every time evenly, and actually for the powder nails is kind of the strong like the rock. So actually it's better to using the machine to help you to fire off any place. And because our nail technician is kind of the professional, so you do not need to worry the powder will be get on your cuticle. But if you already let the powder to get on your cuticle, so it's better to using the machine to help you to fire off from the cuticle part. And if you are first to watching our live stream and our GH fast dry dipping powder video, the tutorial, so you need to remember all those tips. For our powder, it do not need to using the activator to make it dry before you doing the buffing or filing, because the powder could be dry within 30 seconds. You just need to wait around 30 seconds then doing the filing and buffing. Because if you do your all nails at one time, when you finish the final finger, the final nails, when you go back for the first nail, it's already done. So actually, if you are not, you are the first to using the powder kit, it's better to follow our tutorial. Now we're going to using this file. For this file, you can find it from our dip powder accessories kit too. If you don't have the machine, you could use this file to help you to fire off any bumpy or uneven place. And our nail technician like to use it to shape the nails. I mean the artificial nail when doing the nail art process. Because this one is metal a little bit thick than the emery board, because we got two files, and actually for this file it will be more flexible than the last one. As you can see at the first start of our tutorial, we're using the same shade of the file, but that file is kind of different because that file is very thin, using for the natural nail. But this one is for the artificial nail because the middle with the sponge is a little bit thick than another one, although they have the same shape. For this one is with the little sponge on the middle. It's for the artificial nails. It helps to shade the nails because after you using the powder, actually sometimes you'll find that the place maybe a little bit near your nail edge, it's not kind of the evenly. So you could use this file to help you because it won't destroy your nail design, it won't destroy your nail art design. So it's kind of the usage. It's using for the artificial nail, but for another thin one, it's using for the natural nail to shape the nails for your natural nails. So every time you need to using those nail tools to help you to get more refined, beautiful nail design. Now we're going to using the nail buffer. For the buffer, we need to remove, or you need to use it to grinding the powder nails more evenly. Because for this nail buffer, it could using for the natural nails to remove any shine or any oil from your nail plate, and it could be smooth up your nail edge. It could be using for both, for your natural nails and artificial nails. Follow our tutorial. You could see our tutorials. Our nail technician gonna to buffer the critical parts every time. So, as I mentioned so many times, the critical part is kind of the important part because if you found it very easy to crack in and very easy to treat off, so I think you should better to handle well for your critical part. Because our powder itself without any problem, if you think our powder will be easy to treat off, I think for most of the brands, they don't have this kind of the problem. It's kind of the using way. So we every time need to suggest how to make it more well and more stick with your own nails. So I think it's really important when you're doing this kind of the powder nails on your nail, you need to do all preparation. Cannot brain the powder, cannot brain the glue, cannot brain the brand. You just need to follow the tutorial step by step. So every time you need to shade the nails and push back the critical. And now after you making the powder nails, you need to fire off. So no matter you think the surface with bumpy place or without, I think it's so necessary to use in the nail file and nail buffer to let you get the more perfect nails. So for the buffer, we need to use it to smooth up your nail edge and to make the nail surface more rough. Because later we're going to apply the activator and the top later. So far, as you can see, if you're first using our kits, I think you do not know the key points of our fast dry and dipping system. But actually, if you are old friends, our old clients, we are already you already watched so many live stream and tutorial of our brand GHdip already. I think you already know for our powders, it couldn't be using the activator to make it dry. It could be dried by itself. So for the nail buffer, you need to use it. You can turn it every angle to help you to get more comfortable experience using the powder. So actually you do not do over buffing, over filing, and over pushing. So actually you need to use it and make it just at that way. So you need to using the 180 degree side to help you to smooth out the nail edge. To fire off and to make it more refined, because between the light pink color and the neon color, it may be a little bit the range between them, so it's better to grinding the powder nail surface more evenly, especially that light, the light between two colors. Sometimes you may be thinking a little bit on the top, so bumpy on that place. So it's so necessary you are doing the nail filing and buffing to help you get the more perfect nails. So you need to using the buffer like that, because our buffer is both head. As you can see, our nail tension gonna to using the more big size, the more area to help you to do the buffing on your nail plate, and using the small one for the round side, the round head, to help you to do the critical part. So because this shape, this nails is kind of suitable for the round head. So why we choosing all those 3 nail files for you to put it into our dip powder accessories kit? Actually, we already consider all necessary nail tools you like when you're doing your powder nails. It's just like the salon quality. Actually, it's kind of the best quality. It's same quality nail files as the salon require. So actually, for those nail tools, we already consider more choices. And when you're using the dip powder nails, you could get one dip powder accessories kit to help you to make more perfect. So we need to using the buffer like that from the nail plate first, and then turn to the critical part, and you need to smooth it. You need to grind it like that. And actually you need to buffer the nail plate slightly, and do not over buffing. And actually if you feel your nail plate get very hard, or maybe it hurt. So but for the powder, it's kind of like the rock, so you do not need to worry. You need to grind in it the surface more evenly. So when you're doing all nails, for this way it helps you to get more beautiful nails. Every time it's so necessary to do all the steps. We need to grinding the nail plate first and turn to your file with angle, or the buffer with angle, to fire off any place from your cuticle. So I think most of the clients, they have some experience why the powder will be easy to get on your cuticle. So you need to more practice, and you need to apply the very thin layer and slightly slowly to apply it on your own nails. And actually for our this powder kits, from all reviews from our Amazon.com, I think it's super easy to use. If you already buy, or you are just wanted to buy one, I think it's so necessary for you to do your own nails at home. It's kind of funny. It's kind of it's very good for you and your daughter, or with your friends of girl. I think for boys it's same too. You could share the experience how to do the powder nails at home, because it do not need to using the UV lamp. It's environmental friendly. So I think it's so necessary if you buy one kit for your girlfriends, for your mother, or the girls or the women who like nail art. So now we're going to using the lengthy wipe. For the lengthy wipe, if you don't have one, you need to get the paper towel. If you have one, it's better because it helps you to remove any dust particles from your nail plate. Because later we're going to apply the activator and the top on. We need to use the lengthy wipe to wipe off any dust particles. So for our tutorial, it's already 18% done. We're going to using the activator. The number 2 is the activator. And for the activator, you just need to use it only one time if you are using our GH fast giant dipping powder kit. We need to brush it evenly only one time before the top coat. And for the activator, it's kind of the volatile liquid. And actually you can find it, maybe it's so easy to be empty without any liquids inside the bottle. So don't be worried. First, if you are first to get one, you could contact our after sale service team. So now we're going to apply the top. For the top coat, we need to apply it 2 times. We need to apply the very thin layer from middle left to the right. For the first layer, you need to apply the very thin layer and brush evenly every time. So we need to, if you are applying the top, the speed is kind of the fast XL1 nail technician. You could do all 5 fingers. If you are slow, you are first to using it. When you're doing 1 or 2 fingers, you need just to go back because for our nail technician, it's kind of professional for controlling the time. If you are first to using our kit, you could finish 1 or 2 and go back. Because for our top coat, the first layer, it should be half dry but still sticky, cannot totally dry to get your another layer on. We need to apply the very thin layer. But for the second layer, you need to apply it much more than the first layer, from the middle left to the right. So as I mentioned, if you are first using the dip powder, or you are not so familiar with our brand's powder, when you first layer, you need to apply 1 or 2 fingers and go back to apply the second layer on. It's the best time. But for our nail technician, it's kind of very professional to control the time for our fast giant dipping powder. So actually, you do not need to worry. You do not need to follow our controlling time because I think our nail technician gonna to apply it for the 5 fingers together. We need to apply the top, the activator first before you apply the top. You just need to apply it only one time. So actually, when you finish your kit, to using the top coat, for the top coat you use it 2 times. Very thin layer to apply it on your own nails, from the middle left to the right. You need to apply it from the middle left to the right to brush it evenly. For the first layer, you cannot apply too much. You need to apply it from the middle left to the right, very thin layer. And then to apply another layer on immediately if you are hard to control the time. Because for our top coat, the first layer needs to be half dry but still sticky. Or you will find why your top coat won't be so shiny because you cannot control the time for the drying. So it's better to apply the very thin layer on and then for 2 fingers and get back. we need to apply the very thin layer from the middle left to the right. So we need to wait around 1 minute to let the powder get dry. So actually for our powder, it could be dried within 1 minute, the top coat. You need to wait around 1 minute. As you can see, the design already done for today's. So guys, for this kit, it's the G648. For this kit, it's with 6 pieces, the fast drying, this hot summer neon color. It's with those colors I could show you. So, if you can see, those colors are from all this kit. You can select 1 or 2, 3 colors or all colors to using on your nails. So actually for this kit, you could buy this from our Amazon.com and you could make the design like that. As you can see, this one is by using the clear powder and the neon colors on the middle. So for those design, you could select other colors. We already done 2 colors. One is nude, another is the clear powder. And I got one on my little fingers too. So it looks good when you're using this kit. So actually we are going to using this kit to help you. The dip powder accessories kit. For this kit, I think you could find from our previous live stream, you could see that we got so many useful tools and salon quality tools inside this kit. So just focus on our GHdip. We got so many new items and new products for you. So thanks for your watching. Bye. See you next time.